Yo, Red Lion ESV, welcome to the Lion Share Podcast. Guess I touched on the passport bros. I mean, it's pretty much a subject that's been beaten to the ground. Shout out to Pablo Frescobar. That video he put out there about Jamaica. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shout out to my yardies. You know what I mean? People, oh, yeah, Jamaicans, yardies. Y'all know what it is. I sat down. If I could really put a face on this or names on this, what they're saying is accurate. I can't put. I want to put these people information out, but I'm not going to just out of respect. But yeah, it's accurate. People have been going down there, white, black, it don't matter. Somebody, you know what I mean? Everybody wants to go down there and go see Dexter St. Jock, man. Go get their rocks off real quick. You know what I mean? Get them a little rent or drag, get their rocks off, keep it pushing. But at the end of the day, what more needs to be said? Everything that's being said about the passport bros pretty much is projection. It's one of those, I'm going to accuse you of the stuff I was doing. Point blank, period. I'm going to accuse you of what I was doing. Oh my God, you're going down there and you're sex trafficking. You're paying these underage. No, that's what you're doing. That's a Jedi mind trick if I ever seen one. That is what you are doing. But not for nothing, I'm not even going to call them passport bros no more. I'm just going to call this whole thing, soft girl era. You know what I'm going to call it? Revenge of the dishwashers. The dishwashers revolt. Pick one or the other. The dishwashers revolt. Because that's really what this is. That's really what this is. R.I.P. Alan Roger Curry. You know what I mean? I know I'm doing a lot of name dropping, but R.I.P. Alan Roger Curry, where he was like, he wrote the book called The Beta Male Revolution. And this is what we're realizing. Not that I want to call them beta males or whatever. I even think beta male has a negative connotation to it at this point. Because everybody has a role to play. But that's really what this is. They're like, you know what? I used to be a dishwasher. Now they done put me at the cashier. I'm a cashier now. Y'all can eat a dick. I'm a cashier now. I ain't washing no dishes. Plain English. I'm not a cleanup man no more. Now don't get me wrong, there's some nuances there with the old passport bro. They, flashing their passports and the hell with y'all and we's going. At the end of the day, even traveling, you're not really, how can I say this? Plain English. It's a different matrix. Because women are women globally. I say that, with a grain of salt. Women are women globally. You know what I mean? They all got some type of nonsense with them. But even with that being said, they're revolting. The men are just like, I'm tired. I don't have to do this no more. You mean to tell me? And I went through, some of that myself with my own courting, my own courtship process. And just looking and going, oh, word, this is what's available to me elsewhere? What the hell am I doing here? What am I doing here? Because what I'm doing, what is available to me here, this is unacceptable. And that's really what you have. The dishwashers are revolting. And I really should, you know what I mean? I'm going to play with the title on this one because a lot of this stuff really is about percentages because you really don't need, millions with an M, millions of, black men just raising up and we're out of here and we're going to kick everything over and, these women ain't, black women ain't shit, this, that, and the third. They don't have to do that. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel it because that's all this is. It's like you need somebody to hold these positions. You need some, it's capital. It's almost like capitalism. You have to have somebody at the bottom. You have to have some poor soul at the bottom in order for there to be wealthy people. And as it relates to the whole dating market, you needed somebody at the bottom who's going to go on these dates, who's going to buy the expensive jewelry, who's going to buy the flowers and the candy, who's going to, go on the dates and keep these restaurants afloat and these establishments afloat. And that's not what you have. Not only with the plandemic, whichever you choose, there's no one to uphold this stuff. It's all falling apart. So you're going to have to get rid of an Andrew Tate. You have to. Because you cannot have percentages of viable men with money to spend, even if it's only a little bit, by the hundreds of thousands going, I don't feel like doing that. I don't feel like going to the restaurant. Why don't you just come here and suck my dick? I don't want to go out. And I'm saying this is someone I'm not going to even. You could even look. You could take one look at me and be like, "Yo, I don't believe nothing you saying, fat boy," and I'll be the first to tell you. And there's no shame in my game. I don't know nothing about no dates, none of this stuff. I don't care what you say. Oh man, you must have been. I got laid. I don't know anything about. Oh, I gotta say this one line, or I have to geo maxing and all that other. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of the MGTOW stuff I was seeing and the black pill stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you. I get it. I understand. I understand where they're coming from. But the way they broke it down with science is like a head scratcher for me. Like, yeah, I'm not doing none of that shit. Maybe it's the ignorant parts of me. Well, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not doing none of that. Oh, you want me to come see you for breakfast? And I'm thinking to myself, do I really want to waste my gas money? Do I really feel like driving over there? Do I really feel like getting dressed? I don't really feel like doing none of that shit. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not going. And if I have to suffer, then I'm just going to suffer. The main difference between me and maybe, some of the palm colored people, the bar isn't set so high for me. So it's not like, oh my God, I can't deal with that. I would never, nah. I'm going to just take one for the team and get my rocks off if I have to. You feel me? That'd probably be the main difference. But as it relates to jumping through hoops like a trained seal, those days are over. I'll just do without. And the pandemic made it that much easier. You were like, yo. And I think I put this in BGS chat. Like, he was talking about, I forgot what he was talking about, but I was like, yo, you spend enough time alone, it makes it very difficult to reconnect with people. And that may not be the most healthy thing for you depending on your age bracket, because human beings do require some level of intimacy. And I don't just mean, sexual intercourse. We do require some level of closeness, something. Men maybe not as much as women, right? But once you spend enough time alone and you realize how much you pour into the opposite sex, you're like, yo, I really don't need this person. Or you know what? If there's no sexual intercourse happening, I really don't want to be bothered with this person. They are really insufferable. It's not even about throwing a whole bunch of curse words around. You're just like, yo, this person really is insufferable. This person really is not pleasant to be around. If I'm not putting my penis in you, you really are not the person I want to be around for any extended period of time. Now, maybe when I was younger, it was cool, but now it's just like, ugh, you're not funny. You don't care about your appearance as much as you should. Some of these people, shout out, let me stop shouting people out. You know what I mean? The hygiene is not up to par. And I'm a big dude, so I know what it is. It's like, yo, let me make sure, I get all the hard to reach places, because it's easy to be a big person and stink if you're not careful. But you're dealing with people and you're like, how are you petite and you stink? It's weird. You know what I mean? Socially, oh God, don't get me started on socially awkward. Oh God. Oh God. You're like, yo, if you that uncomfortable being outside of society, sweetheart, maybe you should stay home. You should, start knitting blankets, open up a school for blind kids or something. Maybe you should just stay home. You feel me? If you're that uncomfortable being out in society. And, it's a bit of a rant, bit of a ramble. Let me bring everything back. And that's what this whole Passport Bros thing is. You know what I mean? It's the dishwasher's revolt. That's it. Now, don't get me wrong, your Chad and Tyrones and, all that other goofy stuff. Truth be told, Chad and Tyrone getting cheated on too. Ain't nothing special. They may have the genetics and all that goofy stuff. Their women jump from dick to dick too. Trust me. Trust me. It's not all it's cracked up to be. They may get it on the front end, they get cheated on the back end. Pause. But that's really all this is. They're going to find a better deal and a cheaper price. That's all. I got money, or I have status, or whatever it is that I have. You're attractive, or you're a better deal than what I'm getting here, deal or no deal, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll with it. And I'm going to touch on the detractors in a second, too, because a lot of them are a bunch of fucking bozos. I'm really trying to cut down on cursing, but for real, they really are some fucking bozos. Like, if nothing else, this space is nothing more than a refugee camp. The Black Manosphere, that's what it is. It's a black refugee camp. And for you to not want to see another black man happy, you a special kind of fucked up individual, bro. Yo, these dudes is tricking. Let them trick. As long as they not, sleeping with children or doing nothing illegal, let them go to hell on about their business. They ain't hurting nobody. Let them go. You should be going for the culture. You should go with it for whatever the hell you want to go for. I hope you use the sense that God gave you and you learn something about the culture so you don't get hemmed up. Hopefully you going somewhere with some type of longevity, especially for the Muslim brothers. You know what you're supposed to be doing or what we are supposed to be doing. But outside of that, have at it. Play ball. 400 plus years of suffering and then some. Go be happy. But that's all it says, man. Shout out to the Passport Bros. Know for a fact everything that's ever been said about us, about 95% of it is projection because we're not actually doing that shit. And people have to tarnish your name. I think the only time that, we really should respond at this point, especially after that video drop, after this point, honestly, it should just be for anti-propaganda purposes. It really has nothing to do with anything else. You can pretty much ignore it. Every now and then just jump out there like, we not using that one. You gonna stop calling us, predators and everything else. No, we not doing that. You start suing motherfuckers for slander. We not doing that. But other than that, you got your proof. Hopefully your Pablo's video is still up. You can see it. If it's on Twitter, it should still be on Twitter. You can look it up. Dread over there giving Shorty the whole body massage and rubbing on her booty and all that. And then he, you know what I mean? Trying to give him, she wanted the happy ending. And of course he had no condoms. So she was like, oh, you could just put a plastic bag. As someone who is ignorant and has used saran wrap as a contraceptive, I was young, okay? I was young and ignorant. You are a grown-ass adult in a foreign country and you trying to use a plastic bag in a place, you know what? Never mind. Red Lion ESV, Lion Share Podcast. As always, peace and love. I'm going to catch y'all later. One.